Hello and good evening. My name is John. We're here playing Panzer Hearts as part of my Steam cleaning series where I go through every game in my Steam library, eventually then arbitrarily rate and or review them after a wee bit of playtime. Now I don't quite know what this game is, but I do know it's a tank-based visual novel, but I don't think you date the tanks. We're going to find out. This is 2018. Wow. Okay, that's recent by Hillies. That's all I know. We're going to start and find out what happens. How to play. Text history, got it. Skip, autoplay, save, load. But look for other mission. Click any key to start the game. I clicked a button, technically, on the mouse. Ooh, German. Dear Mother, thank you for the tiger nut balls you sent me. Sorry, what? I shared some with the other men in my unit. I hope you are fine and things are well in Thurber. Now it is finally time and we are traveling towards the front. Everyone is full of determination for the final victory. That sounds really ominous. I believe firmly in the great empire and the gods. We will triumph over evil. Mother, I am not afraid. I refuse to be afraid. If it happens that I don't return, do know that I lived up to my oath as a soldier of the empire. In death, I'll be led by Nephthys to join Father and Bruno in the afterlife. Capital afterlife. We'll arrive soon, and I need to end this letter here. I will make you proud of me. With love, Bastion. We arrive at a rural village. There have been many of these small dwellings after crossing the eastern border into Kolonovania territory. Currently it's enemy soil, but soon it will belong to the Empire. All the villagers we pass look the same. There are no cars and no electricity. The people must be uncivilized. They can only benefit from becoming part of our great empire, and should be thankful that we are seizing this land and helping them flourish. Oof. Oof. Our captain approaches us, a firm look on his face. Are we the baddies, he asks. He's to brief us on our next mission. After the long journey, I'm filled with excitement. I want to get into action. Okay. That's okay. Did he blink? Did I miss that? Yeah, okay, little animation. Storm Captain. My brave men! Can you see the mound beyond the step over there? I need someone to recon to find out whatever... No, find out whether these cowards have already left. For the glory of Nubis, savior of the Empire, do I have a volunteer? Well, okay. By the light of Hathor, I don't think this is historically accurate. By the light of Hathor, I volunteer. That is extremely brave. That is extremely bravely, Bastion. Now get to it. Yes, sir. I unlock the safety of my gun and start walking towards the mountain. Why would you unlock the safety? That's bad gun maintenance. I try to think of everything that they told me in training, but suddenly my mind becomes blank. I remember the same things happening in sports. You train a lot, but during the competition, you forget the training and just exercise the best you can. I reach the mound. I slowly climb upon it. Very slowly, I raise my head over the edge of the mound. All the cells in my body scream at the same time, that I'm rendered motionless for what seems forever. A large group of enemy soldiers is assembled on the other side of the mound. I get up and start running back towards my comrade. Zup. The step seems to last forever, and as if each step I take pushes the boundary of safety further away. I am never going to make it. The end. Oh. Panzer's Hearts. Late title card. Interesting. ... Oh, okay. I died a warrior's death. Oh, jeez. Bastion, buddy. I must be on my way to afterlife. I generally refer if they tell you who's thinking, or put it with that. Okay. Nephthys. Are you awake, soldier? It is Nephthys, thank you. She has come for me. Soon I will be with Father and Bruno. What? Hold on. Oh, dang it. We'll follow. Oh, Nephthys. My ib is pure. Matt will find nothing wrong with it, I'm sure. Please take me to land of the dead, I'm ready. Did I get a bad end? In the victorious battle in Klavanov, your son was killed in action. He lived up to his oath to the Empire to fight for freedom and an eternal empire. On behalf of his comrades, I extend you my deepest sympathy in your great loss. The company will honor your son's memory in the highest regards and will hold him as an example. May the certitude that your son gave his life for the greatness and the future of the people of our eternal empire give you strength and offer you consolation in this grave sorrow you must now face. Storm Captain F. Han 3, Light Division of the Empire 4 Brigade. Okay, I guess that was a bad end. I died. It must be the afterlife. I was trying to... It's Nif... Oh, okay, that was a look at the thing. This... What? Okay, so there's like hot spots to look around. Are you awake? She's come for me. Can you hear me? Do not follow. My Ka is not ready to leave my body yet. He's waking up. I'm really confused about this setting. I feel a squeezing pain in my chest. That's it. Nurse, I'm afraid you still have some work left to do in this world. You're in the military hospital in Thibir, the capital of our great empire. According to my files, this is your hometown. You were gone for quite some time. How do you feel? I hesitate for a second. My body hurts everywhere, especially in the head, and I feel like vomiting, but a soldier is not supposed to show his pain. I feel I'm ready to go back to the front and kick some ass. I feel a bit weak. I would feel a bit weak. Can I rest a few days? Your injuries are quite severe. There's no way you can return to battle, most likely ever. So I guess no matter what I picked, that would have been the answer. Dr. Sinew worked for 3 hours digging those bullets out of your ribcage. I would have said chest, but... There's also significant damage to your inner ear. You might experience difficulty hearing for a little while, but that will pass. Or seriously, the damage to your inner ear could well affect your sense of balance for a long time, maybe even the rest of your life. Oh, I'm clumsy. So you should be careful choosing what you do next. Any work in noisy environments or something requiring fine motor skills might prove difficult for you. People who love you have surely been praying for you at the temple. It is a miracle that you're still breathing. Nope. Okay. Just rest now. As the nurse is still speaking, a man wearing colonel's insignia is near my bed. Yeah, they are the baddies. He is quite a tall man and must be somewhere in his 50s. He looks good for his 50s, except the hat doesn't fit. Like, it clearly stops a couple inches in. He looks quite stern, but the warmth lies behind his eyes. The nurse glances at him and quickly leaves my bedside. Young soldier, I am Colonel Kontar Ackerman. I heard you were injured in battle. The doctors told me you won't be able to return to the front. He was an old and noble name. He has an old and noble name. Only members of long-lasting prestige bloodlines are allowed to carry names like that. Sir, I cannot believe this. I was on my way to becoming a hero of the Empire. Oh, there's little tears in his eyes. I try to fight away my tears, but fail. I turn my face away. This is not soldierly behavior. The Empire needs exactly your kind. Good soldiers ashamed of being an unbuilt service country. Don't worry. I'll offer another opportunity to prove your worthiness. Sir, I promise not to let you down. Tell me what to do. I'm happy to hear such enthusiasm, young man. I run a tank factory in the city. Kaladavad is a vast land. That's why mobile tanks are able to thrust through the defense lines. That's why mobile tanks able to thrust through the defense lines are of major importance. I need men with strong will to serve the Empire, and I can see of the right spirit. Come to my factory when you're back on your feet. Whoa! A bit of a jump. Yes, sir. I'll be back on my feet in no time. Very good, my child. Very good. Boop. 3 years later. Oh, a week later, I'm released from the hospital. I go straight to the address Colonel gave me. I really want to get back to working for the Empire. Horace Avenue 4. The factory terraple is a huge collection of buildings, spreading over multiple blocks. More than 10 towering chimneys. More than 10? Splice up the air, pouring out thick smoke. Why would they build such a big factory so close to the center of Thibir? The smell must carry for miles. Lucky for citizens, the wind likely blows it out of the city. I approach a soldier guarding the gate, telling him I report to Colonel Ackerman's office. The soldier checks something on his notepad and allows me inside. I head for the administration residency. Every time I see a statue of Anubis, I think of the afterlife, how much I must strive to live in a better way that my ib will be pure when I die. I am really confused by the setting of this game. The administrative residency is cluttered with photos of weapons, tanks, and the factory area. There is a statue of Anubis holding a crook. It's not... Oh. I don't know how her glasses are holding. There's a little string on it. A woman sits at a typewriter in the middle of the room. Her desk is stacked with piles of documents, but everything on it seems to be in explicit order. She goes to Colonel Kotor's secretary. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm here to meet with Colonel Ackerman. The woman glances up from her papers, puzzles. I stand at attention, motionless. She takes her glasses off. Puts them on, then takes them off. Do you have a scheduled meeting? Colonel Ackerman told me to come here when I'm ready to serve the Empire. I am ready now, ma'am. Well, I'm sure you are, but Colonel Ackerman doesn't see people without an appointment. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Bastion. Bastion, is it? I see you're young and eager to serve. That's good. We need more men like you. Can you state your purpose of your visit in more detail? I don't actually know, ma'am. I was in front and got injured. I woke up in the war hospital. Colonel Ackerman visited me there. He told me I could serve a great empire here, even though I can't go into battle anymore. You see, my inner ear was damaged, and they told me I can't go back to the front. I appreciate your effort, but I can't just book you a meeting with Colonel Ackerman. He's a very busy man, you see. Ma'am, you don't really understand. I was told personally by Colonel Ackerman to come here. I won't leave until he sees me. Just then, the grand door opens and Kontar enters the room. He smiles at me, and no one look in his eye. Fran Bella, what is the problem here? Colonel Ackerman, this young man claims he is personally instructed by you to come here. I tried to tell him that he just can't. Yes, that is correct. Bastion, I am happy to see you up so soon and ready for a new assignment. Come to my office, we'll get started. Fran Bella, prepare a general labor contract for Bastion right away. The secretary looks baffled for a second, but quickly gives in to Kotar's orders. Yes, sir. The secretary delves through her papers. Kontar and I head into his office. I will not get these names right. The authority of Kontar stirs a childhood memory inside me. My classmates, Piotr, an orphan from Testelia, once tested his limits and made fun of the Empire's history by deliberately singing the wrong lyrics during a music class. I remember the next day when the protection guard came to school and took him away. I never saw him again. After that incident, I've been keen to obey my supervisors, even if obeying is, at times, hard. It's an old painting of poodle. Okay, I need to know more about this picture back here. You're burying the lead game. What is going on? Colonel Ackerman, Bastion reporting for duty. You really... No. I instantly perform the salute. The salute is performed by putting one's right hand on the right hand, the left shoulder, and bowing with the left arm. Okay, I get it. At ease, Bastion. Kontar's office is dominated by a huge painting of Anubis served by Nephidas. Must be that one? Oh yeah. Proctor of the Dead. A smaller painting of Poodle sits to the left. On the right is a large portrait of an Empire who gazes across the room as if monitoring the factory's work. Kontar approaches a brand new record player. He sets the needle on it and a record starts to spin. As he turns to me, a low looming notes of Wilhelm Richard's Autumn Act 3 starts to play. I steady my breathing and try not to show my unease. Bastion, you are about to start a new journey, quite different from the one you expected. But I have no fear. This is just a heroic mission as the one you embarked on when you became a soldier. Perhaps even more so. We are doing extremely important work here, and I need men I can trust in my life. This is the battle on a larger scale. It's the macro game, if you will. Economies. You might not see immediate results, but what we accomplish here is much of a broader implications than scattered acts of glory on the battlefield. Kontar's words ease my mind and I step closer. My fear of being disgraced to my family melts away. Instead, hope fills my spirit. As you may have heard on the radio, the purpose of this war is not solely the protection of the Empire, but rather the preservation of the values we safeguard, and therefore the salvation of everyone. That is why in this tank factory, we build our nation's future. The Empire's survival rests on the iron arms of these factories, and others like it. Our brave soldiers need equipment delivered on time and in prime condition. Even though our troops are clearly matched by no one, in battle they also need superior technology. Our nation has produced the best scientists and engineers in the world. With their knowledge, we build machines our enemies can only dream of. You see, Bastion, a great country runs like clockwork. Every part must run smoothly for the whole to function. We are all each a small piece of the grand clockwork that makes it the Empire. Do you understand? We're basically cogs. Sir, I understand, and I am ready to serve as you see fit. Oh, a little, beep. Good. Starting today, you are a general laborer. Oh, I'm a general! I got promoted! Your duties include keeping the facility safe, clean, and running, and most of all, following your superior's command. Your superiors will tell you the details. Any questions? When can I start? Kolar looks pleased. You have the right attitude, son. Kontar taps me lightly on the shoulder. It's a small gesture, but it feels good. Boop! Hard week to build a tank. I'm taken to a hall so huge, I feel like I've been swallowed by a whale. Inside, equipment is stacked as far as I can see. Not pictured here. Some workers carry boxes and metals around, while others inspect machine parts coming off a zigzagging conveyor belt. Some belts take parts through holes into other buildings. It's more complex and beautiful than I could have imagined. This is absolutely amazing. Not pictured here. There's no way anyone could challenge us on the battlefield, not with production like this. Hey, do I get to date him? One of the workers, a tall, muscular man, raises his head. He must have heard me. He takes one look at me and bursts into warm laughter. Something about him seems familiar. It's Papa! Hans.
Ha ha ha. Calm down, young man. There's plenty for us to do to win the war. I'm Hans, and I'm your supervisor. Let me take you through the basics first.
As Hans tells me how the factory works, I observe him. He's older than me, but rather being intimidating, he's inviting. I'm reminded of my older brother Bruno. That's how I recognize him. Uh-oh, flashback. Bruno loved mulling over deep thoughts and always dreamed of flying. He was so in love with the skies, he drafted to serve in the great Luftdorf Zeppelin. Ludendorff Zeppelin? They took him aboard because he was so persistent, even though he was only 13. Wow. It was his first flight. He never came back. If he had lived, I bet he would have been like Hans. The end.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
We're in one of the main assembly halls of the factory. There are 12 others in this complex. This particular hall is meant for building tanks. At the moment, we're reworking the facility so we can take on a new project. Did Colonel Ackerman tell you about that?
No, Colonel Ackerman didn't tell me I would fill in. It told me I would be filled in on the details here.
Alrighty then. Almost everything you see here will be different in a couple days. It's a little surprising we're getting a new face now. Hall's been under tighter security than Prince
Aramel's burial tomb, which is a reference I don't recognize.
Colonel must really trust you.
I'm a diligent servant of the Empire. Of course he can trust me. Hans explodes with laughter. Again. It seems to be his way.
Yeah, I could see that. I'll take you to see the place that's almost finished.
Hans and I left to head to a different section of the hall. This one much emptier than the first. See how much more empty it is? The clang on metal fills the air. Flickering shadows reach across the walls as workers weld. Hans take me to a much emptier section of the room. Oh, okay, it's a bit of a zoomed in. There, large chunks of machinery lay on the floor, seemingly random pattern. They seem parts of a vehicle, presumably a tank.
Bastion, I will now tell you a secret. This information is the most important and protected in the entire Empire. Promise you won't tell anybody. I mean, should you tell, I'd have to kill you.
Oh, of course not. I can be trusted. My jaw drops as Hans lifts a turret piece with his bare hands. That's not possible.
I am the secret Bastion.
Okay.
The Empire's been working on a secret superhuman project for decades. I'm the first successful prototype. Meet Hans Nubis 1000.
Hans throws the turret piece at me. I move to block it, but there's no time. The piece hits me hard in the chest and I fall. Well, that's a censorship warning right there. The last thing I think before I hit the ground is my family. I have failed them. I'm sorry, Father. Arg! Hans laughs loudly again. If I can hear his laughter, I must be alive. I'm not in much pain, which is weird after being hit by a turret piece weighing at least a ton. Did the nurse at the hospital make me superhuman too? I grab the turret piece and feel myself turn red. It's light as a feather.
Ha ha ha, fooled ya.
These are prototypes made with polystyrol, just an example of our Empire's greatness. Pharmacist Edward Sigmundus, right here in the city, invented this stuff hundreds of years ago. Really. The great scientists of our nation have built it ever since. A polystyrene turret piece? I turn on my hands. The material is light but solid and sturdy at the same time. I've never held anything quite like it.
It's extremely light. We use it to make quick models of our machines.
This is your first task as a general laborer. Assemble these pieces and resemble a working machine. Let's go. Do I get to do it? Okay. 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 Is that it? That's it? That's all I get to do? That was less than satisfying.
Suddenly, a young woman appears in front of us. Idiots! Can't you see you're missing a few things? You can't assemble a tank without the caterpillar tracks. Bastards, how wonderful to see you. Don't you already know it's impossible to make caterpillar tracks with pyrostyrol? Structure isn't rigid enough to be molded into something so thin. You must have forgotten, seeing you're so busy you can interrupt our work. Then you should have used something else for the model. Am I the only one on here with a brain? Who is this girl? I know during wartime, women must work in the factories as the men are on the front, but I didn't know they become so assertive. Oh wow. We're gonna have that kind of game. Bastion, may I introduce you to Astrid, our cocky fellow factory worker? Pleasure. Astrid greets me with a handshake. Her grip is firmer than I expected from a girl. Yes, give me one of those games. And her skin feels rough. It must be all the hard work she's doing, leaving signs on her body. My head is like a triangle. She leaves my hand covered in grease. So is it rough or is it greasy? Pick an adjective. The grease is warm, and in a weird way, it feels good on my hand. Or maybe it's just Astrid's touch that is a pleasure. Okay. It is very nice to have women around, as on the front it was only men. It's a pleasure to meet you too, Astrid. Okay, so just no more. Finally, my first day at the factory ends. I'm exhausted but incredibly happy. Factory bell rings, the workers stream out of the numerous buildings. I head to my bike on the outskirts of the factory grounds. Just as I'm about to saddle up, someone yells my name. Wait, you fool! Astrid's shout startles me so much I lose my balance. I think we're going to see a lot of this image of him on the ground. In no time on the ground, my bike's gone with me. Astrid was up, part laughing, part panting. A prick of annoyance hits me, but the distinct joy in her laughter soothes me. It's so sincere, it calms me down. You're a clumsy one, aren't you? I untangled myself from my bike, unable to look her in the eye. Oh my god, her nose was torn off in a horrible tank accident. This is the second time I am flat on my face today. No, that's on your back. Flat on your face would be 180. Not a great first day. My embarrassment jumps up another level when I gaze up to Astrid. The sun's warm light. I realize Astrid is pretty? I didn't notice in the pale fluorescence of the factory. Wow, you're really picky. You shouldn't start people like that. Well, sorry, Mr. I Know Everything after working one day. By the light of Halar, you should well know how important safety and security are in the factory. You are actually right. I thought it'd be funny to say. I just thought it was funny you are so jumpy. Well, whatever. What do you want? You forgot your wallet in the assembly hall. I guess you dropped it when you were working on the mock tank. Oh, I didn't realize. Thank you, Astrid. It was nice of you to bring this to me. I guess I owe you an apology. No worries, clumsy one. I'm used to men falling down, dropping their things, and getting angry at me. I try to give her an angry look. She replies with a teasing wink in her eyes. I can't help but smile at her. So where are you going? Onkberg. Onkberg? Really? Like you couldn't? Okay. I live there with my mom. Ooh, that's... Bro, your games need a little work if you're gonna say it. I live with my mom. How about you? I'm heading that way too. Let me grab on my bike and we can go together. We grab our bikes and leave the factory ground. I glance back and see chimneys putting out dark, thick smoke. Wait, why is the chimneys still running when workers... It's so thick, it nearly blinks the sun, and the smell somewhat reminds me of the battlefield. It's overpowering. Luckily, it quickly clears as we bike away from the factory. Soon, I'm aware of the rustling leaves and the gentle summer breeze. We bike together through our great city, bathed in the summer sunlight. We glide through the boulevards of linden trees, zigzag between cars caught in a traffic jam. I still feel bad I snapped at her. I should apologize at least. Astrid, I'm sorry about earlier. I wasn't angry at you. I guess I was frustrated. My first day at the factory, and maybe I'm nervous. You know, I just came from the front and... Did you come from the Kolonov front? That's so exciting. You have to tell me about it. I wish I'd go to the front. Astrid's reaction irritates me. She talks about it like it's a fun vacation, not a life or death situation. Well, it's not really that exciting. I'll go with this one. Astrid feels compassion for you. That's all the action I saw. War is not fun. I got injured on my first mission. Really? In your first battle? I'm so sorry. You must suck. All that matters to me now is that I can serve the Empire. I'm happy you can. Me too. We need to free ourselves from the tyranny of our neighbors. We have been under the pressure long enough. It's time for us to take a stand and claim what's rightfully ours. The final victory. Ugh. Means that though all the struggle... Final victory means that though all the struggles we will prevail. I'm not sure if I read that right. We pass through the city center, riding under Frederick's Gate. In the distance looms the Triumph Column, an obelisk mounted in honor of victorious army. Wait, why would you have a monument for victory if you haven't victored yet? On the right is the building site of what is the largest structure in the world, the Citizens Hall. Right across the two great avenues of the city, Victory Avenue and Avenue of Montu. Everywhere I look is evidence of the Empire's greatness. This, the warm summer air, and Astra's company make me feel alive again. Haven't felt this good since I came back from the front. A whole week ago. We stop at a traffic light at Frederick's Gate. I should turn left here. Are you in a rush? We could head right and go for a swim in the river. Well, I don't have any swimming trunks. I think my mom is waiting for me at home. Come on, only be a half hour. It'll be fun. I know a spot close where no one will see us. Sounds really good, but come on, you mom boy. I really have to go see my mom. I haven't spent too much time with her since I came back from the front. I'm pretty sure she's worried sick. That's a shame, but I understand. Some other time then. Thank you, Astrid. No worries, I'll bike with you to your home. Okay, let's go. We head towards my house in the beautiful summer afternoon. I really hope I can go swim with Astrid soon. We arrive at my mom's place in northern Onkburg. It is not the nicest, but an okay neighborhood. We've been struggling with the money, as Mom hasn't been working in years, but fortunately the government is treating us well because of my late dad. He was a merited hero in the Grand War. He took part in the largest and most fierce battle of the whole war. Battle of Sleepy River. People still talk about it. Over a million soldiers died in just a couple months. The battle turned the earth upside down and many soldiers just disappeared into the carnage. My father's body was never found. Okay, this is my mom's place. Thank you so much. I had fun today. I mentioned I had a great time too. It's nice to have someone at the factory that isn't all work. You need to have fun too, you know. Do they live nearby? Yeah, just a couple blocks to the east, in the workers' quarter. I'll see you tomorrow. Astrid climbs on her bike, takes off. She turns left at the corner and vanishes into the evening train. It takes me a second to realize that I'm still waving goodbye. I lean my bike against the wall and head inside the apartment. Boop. Pictures of me and my brother and our father. After the ride with Astrid, the air inside our home feels dusty. A troubled feeling grows within me. Can someone get anxious of their own home? I feel I do. I leave my jacket on a hanger and head into the living room. Mom is sitting at the living room table. Has she just been waiting for me, staring into space? Bastion! Where have you been? I was so worried. Mom, today was the first day of work, remember? I told you I went to the factory. Yes, factory, that's right. You're working for the war effort. But are you sure you fit in at the factory? It can be quite laborious. You should leave that kind of work for the brave women of the home front. You're still healing from your wounds. Mom, please stop. I'm fortunate enough to even get a second chance. Something is wrong with my inner ears, but it won't stop me from doing my part. The noisy factory machines can destroy your ears completely. You might even damage your sense of balance. But no, I understand. Sacrificing yourself for the Empire is the only thing you ever think of. Ew. Not the Empire I think of, it's a father. Oh, Bastion, you're always such a good son. I wish your father could see you now. He'd be so proud of you. Bastion, you're still my child, but I am not. I am a grown man and I need to fulfill my duty. You have grown so much, Bastion. I am proud of you. Can you please be proud of what I'm doing now? But the factory is a dangerous place. No, it's not. In the assembly area, we use orthofox earplugs, so a factory work won't make me go deaf. I'm still worried to death. You have to be careful. Did you know your father's Ba? Came to me in a dream last night, must be spirit. He wanted to talk to you, but he was afraid you wouldn't listen. My father was a soldier, a hero. He gave his life to the Empire. I won't expect anything less for myself. Shame hits my stomach. I put my arm around her and try to comfort her by talking about my first day at the factory. I'm doing important work for the Empire. I'm building great weapons that'll win us the war. I'll become a man worthy of father. Mom, I just hope you can understand. But Basti... I don't think I would nickname this kid Basti. She feels light. She feels so fragile in my arms. She doesn't have anyone left in the world but me. And it's not my mother's fault. I failed on the front. How will we manage? The next morning I go into the office complex. I feel a bit out of place as I had a terrible nightmare. I've had those ever since I came home from the front. The dream is always the same. I'm on the battlefield and soldiers around me are dying and I'm unable to move and help them. All I can do is watch them die. It's horrible. I need to take this off and concentrate. I'm sure it'll get better over time. Frau Beller, Kontar secretary, taps away at her typewriter. The rhythmic clacking soothes me. Ma'am, ooh, don't ma'am her. Ma'am, General Laborer Bastion reporting to Colonel Akbar. Yes, the Colonel is ready to see you. Bastion, come in. I still need to know more about this guy. Oh, he's actually pacing. Kontar paces restlessly around the room. When I greet him with the customary bow, he stops and smiles. At ease, Bastion. I was informed you made your first assembly work with the polystyrol pieces yesterday. How did you do a fine job? Yes, sir. Don't be formal, Bastion. Ease up. Today we'll have a new task. You are to report the same assembly hall as yesterday. You'll be shown how real equipment is assembled. Happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that, sir. Kontar points to the painting of the Emperor on the wall. I need to know about this guy. Bastion, what do you think of our leader, the Emperor? Our leader is Supreme Commander of Armed Forces. Our leader is the heir to the bloodline of great Emperor Horror, first Emperor race. I'll go with this one. Yes, I'm aware of what the hieroglyphs teach about the birth of the Empire, but I asked about the Emperor. How do you feel about him? Colonel, I don't understand the question. Of course I love him. Bastion, I told you not to be so formal. I want to hear real answers from you. Kontar turns away from me, shaking his head. I will send for you later. Dismissed. Yes, sir. Uh-oh. There's dissent going on. Is this subterfuge? As I leave Kontar's office, I feel deeply uneasy. Why did he ask me something like that? I've never been so directly questioned about my loyalty. Is he doubting me? Have I done something to upset him? I only started here yesterday. Maybe that's it. I'm new and he wants to see if I'm up to the task. That makes sense, and the mission here is extremely important. Still don't understand why he came to the hospital and chose me. Well, I do have the best references. I was in the youth program. Ugh. I had the best grades, I volunteered for battle, I've done everything right. Except for, getting shot on your first mission, but... Not to mention my father was a hero of the Grand War, a martyr for the Empire. That could explain it. Wait, what if your father didn't die in the war, and he's on the other side now, and you're gonna meet him later and be like, oh my god, Dad! We'll see. I better just focus on work. I will prove to Kontar I'm worthy of his trust. Hans is waiting for me in the assembly hall. What took you so long? I've been here since Colonel Ackerman called me. I want to say Akbar. Low on your feet, are you? I had to go to the bathroom way here, but I'm ready to serve now. Haha, relax, I'm just teasing. Follow me. I follow Hans through the hall, passing all kinds of factory machinery. As you can see, we've progressed quite a lot since yesterday. That's because of the factory runs around the clock, with multiple shifts. Now that's efficiency fit for the Empire. Even though we maintain the machinery, it doesn't stop other parts of the complex from functioning. What is this room? Why is there a barn in this room? Oh, no, crap. Eventually we arrive at the mess hall, much more extended. Somewhere in the center stands a red wooden house. We stop in front of it. This is the operations center of the facility. Let me show you. Hans leads me into the building. A map of the Empire surrounded by its enemies, covered with pins. What is this device? It has a keyboard set of strange rotating discs. That's an Enigma machine. It's one small room, and instead of the paintings that seem to be the facility style, the walls are covered with maps. And there's of course a frame of the Emperor's photo. A dozen or so typewriters lay on the table, with one in particular set apart from the rest. Hans looks at the huge map covering almost the whole wall. It shows the Empire surrounded by other countries. Huge country to the east is Kolondanob. The country to the west is France. Kinda a little like, that would be England, that'd be France and Spain, Netherlands, Russia. I wonder where this could be. The huge country east is Colonna, the country in the west is France, the island separated from the mainland is Brescia. In between the Empire and Kolondanob, there is Castiglinia, a country mauled for centuries by its larger neighbors. Whenever there's conflict, it seems that Castilla gets beaten up by everybody. After the Grand War, Castilla was independent for a short time. After a successful invasion at the beginning of the summer, it is now wholly belongs to the Empire. You see, a great empire is surrounded by its enemies. Kolonova, France, and Brescia. Russia, France, and Britain. Yes, I've seen this map before. No need to be a smartass. You haven't seen this map before. This lists all facilities like ours throughout the Empire. Together, our factories make up the Circuit of Victory. I'm an engineer, so I love that name. It's vital the circuit keeps going even if a component malfunctions. So what kind of circus would you say this is? Parallel. Parallel, I agree. Current will keep flowing even one component goes offline. So parallel it is. What fascinates me is that the analogy goes deeper. Okay? In a series connection, all the components have a same current. This would mean, in our analogy, that all facilities may operate at the same level of energy consumption. Okay. This would make no sense as the facilities have different purposes. In parallel circuits, the voltage for all components is the same, but the current for each of them can differ. Isn't that amazing? Sure. You're saying that if one of these factories was bombed, the other factories keep running. Hans' face goes cold before I even finish my sentence. I've said something wrong. What are you talking about? Our factories are not going to get bombed. We have the best air force in the world, and our commander-in-chief has personally promised to keep our skies clear. I was just speaking hypothetically. I didn't mean anything's going to happen. Okay, it's fine. You're young, you know people are foolish. In principle, I think you got the idea. Hans points to one of the dots on the map, face first. This is our factory. As you can see, there's a heavy concentration of factories and other production facilities in this area. We are the heart of the Empire, Bastion. We have a great duty to fulfill. Yes, and we'll do it with great enthusiasm. That's more like it. Now let's get to work. Leave the operations center, head back to the main area, the place where we were the day before. However, this changed. Equipment has moved to assembly pieces line area. Pieces of machinery lay around the ground. A CNC piece of clothing is peeking out from among the pieces. Hans kicks it to the corner. Seems like the night shift does an awful job yet again. Pieces are all over the place. No wonder. They're much lower class citizens than we are. Oof. We'll have to clean up after their mess. Don't worry, I'll take care of it in no time. I wanted one of the pieces to take hold of it. I try to lift it, but quickly realize I can't. It's way too heavy. Yeah, crack me up. Those aren't polystyrol pieces from yesterday. They're the real deal. Not even the Hans Anubis 1000 can move these pieces now. You'll have to use the crane. You know how to use one, don't you? Okay, fine, I'll show you. You climb the crane operator's cabin. Hans shows different levers in the machine. All the movements of the crane are controlled with 4 levels. Levers, left, right, up, down, blah, blah. I get a hang of it in just a couple of minutes. Seems you got the knack of it. I'll let you move the pieces now. Yes, sir. I try to act cool, but I feel super nervous. I didn't expect to get real action this quickly. But here it goes. Oh, so it's the same thing? That's not fulfilling. Well done, Bastion. Get down there and come marvel at your achievement. A small tank stands in front of us. Not particularly impressive. The design is so light it probably would only use infantry support or reconnaissance. Picture of the piece, fierce Anubis is painted on the side of the armor to protect the crew. We'll call her the Spitz. You fools forgot to tighten the caterpillar tracks this time. How do you plan on driving the thing out of here? The fool here's you. Shouldn't you be actually doing something instead of barging in here all the time? Whatever, I knew talking with you provide no real intelligence. Anyway, congrats on the assembly, Bastion. At least someone here knows what he's doing. Oh, thank you, but I'd say Hans really showed me how to do it. We don't have time for this nonsense. Astrid, get to work. Bastion, report to Colonel Ackerman. I enter Kontar's office and decided to hear what he has to say. General Labor Bastion reporting, Colonel Ackerman. At ease, Bastion. I heard you assemble your first tank today. That's quite impressive. None of our general laborers have assembled their tank before. You see, this was actually a test. I want to see how it performed with limited amount of information. Thank you, Colonel. You're welcome. You're now promoted to assembler. Wow! Congratulations, son. Dismissed. Thank you, sir. I got promoted to assembly language. You are poorly drawn. There's no details. Okay. As leaves Kontar's office, body of a woman sitting in the chair. She's looking at her nails intently. Her voluminous hair flows down her shoulder. She is boasting a luscious outfit. Gonna walk right off a used magazine cover. He stands and walks over to me. Upon passing me, locked gazes. Nothing but a short glance, but it betrays her eyes that are like a cat's, mischievous. A delicious, sultry perfume stings me like a royal cobra, penetrating my skin with ease. I stand dumbfounded for a few seconds as I had just been shot again. I try to resist, but eventually I stop and glance back at her. Nefer. Daddy, why do you keep me waiting? You know I don't like waiting. He brushes right past me into Kantar's office. I can't believe Kantar has a daughter like her. And that perfume. The ringing of the factory bell signals the end of the work shift for today. I join the fun of the workers heading out of the factory. I get to the gate, fetch my bike, and Astrid suddenly appears next to me. Bastion, wait! Let's go swimming now. I would be stupid not to go with her. Yeah, let's go. You don't have to go to see your mom? Well, to be honest, I felt really stupid for not going yesterday. You said you know this amazing place? I do, I'm ready if you are. Let's do it then. Astrid jumps on her bike and speeds out of the factory premises. I grab my bike and follow her. I have trouble keeping up with her as she speeds towards the river. Astrid weaves through the traffic faster than the cars do. She turns a corner ahead of me. By the time I turn, I've lost her. Instead, there's a glimmer in the river. I bike towards it and stop at the river. Water shimmers from the warm rays of the summer sun. The river is surrounded by a large mountain-like structure made of rock, possibly meant to stop children from falling into it. I look around but can't see where it would be possible to swim. Astrid is nowhere to be found. I hear a whistle to my right. Astrid has climbed top of super rocks before the side of the river. Astrid, come here! Use the rocks as footholds! Okay, you can see the ledge down from here? A small pier-like foundation sits, barely even visible, down where the structure meets the river. A large tree growing through the rocks completely hides it. I can see it. Seems real difficult to get down there, though. Don't worry, just follow me. And climb down the side of the river using rocks as footholds. Amazing how fast Astrid can move. I have to take time to place my feet in stable positions, but Astrid moves very naturally. She must have made this climb countless times. After an exhausting few minutes, we finally arrive at the ledge. Last one in the water is rotten egg! As soon as we reach the ledge, Astrid rips off her clothes. I turn away red-faced. I've never seen a girl naked, at least not after I became a man. Astrid doesn't seem to be bothered at all. There's a splash. Take off my shirt and pants. Pulling my underwear, I jump in the water, smash Astrid. When I reach Astrid, I splash a wave of water her way. She grins devilishly and slaps water straight into my face. For a brief second, the sunlight and the water strikes my vision. I squint at her. Her face is scrunched up, trying to laugh at me, but her face is so weird. I start laughing at her, and then she bursts out in a fit of giggles. Her laugh is nice, fearless and genuine, but at the same time, it's an opening. I splash her again, catching her unawares. Judging the look in her face, the battle is far from over. Boop. What? I wake up in my bed. Okay, episodes from yesterday's flashed in my consciousness, assembling the tank with Hans, Kantar giving promotion, swimming with Trip with Astrid. The best thing is I don't think I had any nightmares last night. I slept soundly, thinking of how much fun I had with Astrid. Then out of nowhere, Kantar's daughter pops in my mind. She walks past me once again, her scent swipes over me. I turn to look at her, to my surprise, she's smiling at me. Shake my head. Did that really happen, or am I just dreaming? Boop. Alright, this has been Panzer Hearts. There's a longer name for it. Panzer Hearts War. Really? Panzer Hearts War visual novel. This is a weird game. It's a visual novel, obviously. I kind of wish they didn't do this twisted history of World War II and Egyptian mythology. They could have just stuck with one and just, you know, ran with it. This mixing is confusing and just has a bit of dissonance between what the story is trying to imply, but also what the names and stuff they're using. I feel like the developers didn't want to commit to actually, you know, going with the story they wanted to tell, and they found ways of hedging it around. The disappointment I have for it mechanically is they tell you you're going to assemble tanks, but there's no... It's just dragging pieces onto the center, like you don't have to be accurate or anything. And I know it's maybe not the point of the visual novel, but I like myself some gameplay, and they kind of talked it up that you're going to assemble tanks, and it turns out that it's not really a thing. Maybe it gets harder later on, but I'm going to cut it off here at 45 minutes before my voice dies. Cheers!